Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to get an image that you want to trace, how to get that image onto your part, and how to trace it out using some of the different tools. Okay, so the first step is we have to find a image that we want. Okay, so I've searched for a baseball bat and ball outline. You want something relatively simple that's easy to trace. You don't want anything really complicated. So I wouldn't choose something like this. Okay, I'm going to choose something like this that's a lot easier to trace. Okay, so what I can do, I can right click and say save image as. Okay, and I'm going to save it. You'll save it to your student account or your Google Drive. Doesn't really matter. Okay, save it to my CAD folder. Okay, and if it doesn't have a file name that is descriptive, give it a file name so you know what file is yours. Okay, so I'll save it. All right, so I got my file. Now go back and okay, what do I want to use as my, the base of my keychain tag? So I'm going to use the first one that we made. So I'm going to click on this little open folder, okay, or you could also go to open and look for your so there's my tag one. All right. So now I need to bring that image in. Okay. But first I have to start a sketch. So I'm going to start a sketch. I'm going to click on this face. Okay, and I'll zoom out. All right. Now, I'm going to insert an image. So this insert section, image. Okay. And oh, there's my image. Okay. So I'm going to open that, and it looks like it's going to be a lot bigger than my keychain, and that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to just click to place it. Okay. Now, don't click too many times. Okay. So there's the size of the actual image. Okay. So that needs to be smaller. So I'm actually going to give a dimension to this image. Okay. So right now it's 9 inches tall. So I'm just going to make that 1 3/4, so 1.75. Zoom in, and I'm going to hit escape so I'm no longer on my dimension tool, and I can just bring this up. Okay, and if it overlaps your hole, don't worry about it, okay, because that's an empty spot. Okay, so it won't block your hole, but we just want to make sure that what we're tracing is in a good spot. Okay, so I'm actually gonna give there, that looks pretty good. Okay, now the tools that we have. Okay, now if something is really straight, like say the edge of this bat right here, you can just use your line tool. Okay, so from this, and I can zoom in with my wheel on my mouse. So click, and I can zoom out and zoom in, and okay, it looks like it stops being straight around there. Okay, and okay, I don't want to make any more lines, so I'm just going to hit escape. So I have one line there. Okay, and let's see, my other straight line will begin right here. Okay, and zoom in, and it looks like that. And again, I'm going to hit escape. All right, so I have my straight pieces. Now the curved sections are a little bit trickier. So if we click on this little button underneath line, okay, we're going to look at splines, okay? And I would suggest using the second spline, the interpolation one. All right, so I'm going to begin where my other line ended, so you can see it turns green, okay? And I'm just going to click around and if this gets in your way, you can drag that out. Okay, and I want to. Okay, so I'm done. I can just hit this check mark, or I can hit escape. So I have that section now traced. All right, and I can do the same for this upper section. Okay, so I can see my line ends there and there. I'm going to use my spline again. Okay, so, and if you notice that it keeps snapping to points, you can hold down the control button and that'll keep it from snapping. Okay, so I have the outline of that baseball bat. Now, say I want to do this baseball down here. Okay, so the outline of it is basically a circle. So, and if you don't get it perfect, don't worry, because guess what? If you hit escape, you can now click and drag that, and if it's, say, a tiny bit too big, you can give it a dimension and make it a tiny bit smaller. Escape, and thing looks pretty good. All right, so now the inside of here I can also trace. Say I want to make this a little bit more detailed than I did the bat. Okay, so each of these is an arc. Okay, it's just a simple arc. So we can use our arc tool. Okay, so let me zoom in here. So I'm going to click on this endpoint and that endpoint, and then I can give it a certain radius. Okay, and I'm going to choose my same points that I did before, and then there. Okay, I can do the same thing down here. Okay, and even this center portion. Okay, so and again, if it's snapping, you just hold down Control and it'll stop doing that. And okay, then from here to here, and let's see. Pretty good. And then from here to up there, and there, and then from this point to that point, and there. Okay, so I have everything outlined. Okay, I can finish my sketch. Okay, now if I go to extrude and I'm not able to extrude, that means there is probably a break in my outline. So if that's the case, you're going to have to go back into your sketch and figure out where that break is. Okay, now I want this to go in just 0.05, and I want to cut it in 0.05. All right. Now I also want this section cut in 0.05. And you can see we have the outline of our bat, and we have the outline of the ball with a little bit more detail. Okay, and once you get done with your outline extrusion, you're happy with it, you would save it. So File, Save As. Okay, instead of tag 1, it would just be, your tag, and then give it a color that you want it printed in. Okay, so I have white, black, tan, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Don't choose a really random color like, I don't know, green, blue, because I just have the basic colors. So I'll just print. That way, just looking at your file name, I know what to print it in.